Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Choda with Ignition Time, and whoa, what an incredible age we live in. I'm hoping we can get through this week without any madness. I'm hoping that we can all just breathe easy, but no one knows what's going to happen in the next 8 to 10 days. My name is Dr. Nitin Choda with Ignition Time. This right here is a little bit of information about me. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. Thank you so much for being a viewer. If you're not a subscriber yet, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Please enable notifications, and please click the like button if you learn something new from this channel. The Ignition Time channel is about the country, it's about the economy, and it's about our money. Now, before I start, I want to encourage you to follow me on Twitter. You'll know what I'm thinking, what I'm reading in real time. So definitely follow me on Twitter. Check out my Twitter feed right here. You'll see all of my recent tweets. And again, by the time you check out my Twitter feed, you'll see a whole bunch of more tweets. Again, you'll be able to keep track of what I'm thinking, what I'm reading in real time. So definitely follow me on Twitter because our Twitter community is growing very, very rapidly. Let's get into the important key alerts for today, the important breaking news for today, news that's important for the country, economy, and money. On your screen, you see an article that was published in Bloomberg that reads Biden's Go Big stimulus plan set up fresh fight in the Senate. Now, here's the problem. If the Senate gets wrapped up in impeachment proceedings, because keep in mind that if the House passes impeachment, then the Senate has to take it up. They don't have a choice not to take it up. They have to take it up. But if they get busy with impeachment, can they do other things that are more important for the future of the country? Things like confirming President-elect Biden's nominees, things like passing the stimulus bill, things like focusing on infrastructure. So that is the big question here. You'll see these 2 points on your screen from the Bloomberg article, which reads: procedure for budget legislation could smooth the path. Impeachment trial could hinder the ability to craft future stimulus bill quickly. We have a deepening calamity as a country. We need more stimulus relief. We need more distribution of the vaccine. It's interesting now that we have the vaccine, the distribution, the last mile distribution, getting the vaccine into the hands, into your arm if you want it. That is presenting a new challenge, and we know for sure President-elect Biden is pressuring his own advisors to make sure that this happens. On your screen, you'll see a chart that was originally published by Bloomberg. The deepening calamity, the pace of deaths from COVID accelerated in the winter. So more and more individuals are just falling victim to this unbelievable pandemic. Here's a quote on your screen from President-elect Biden: "My priority is to get first and foremost a stimulus bill passed. I've been speaking with some of my Republican colleagues about being able to move on a second package sooner rather than later." And he was referring to his pledge to pass more stimulus. And this is absolutely necessary that we have more stimulus. On your screen, you'll see another chart which shows you the sharp decline. The US economy lost 140,000 workers in December, marking the first drop since April. In the meantime, President-elect Biden also got his second shot of the vaccine today. He was due for his second shot, and he was asked to comment on what happened in the Capitol last week. And President-elect Biden said, and I quote, and you'll see this tweet on your screen from CNN Politics. I quote the president-elect: "I think it's critically important that there be a real serious focus on holding those folks who engaged in sedition and threaten other people's lives, debase public property, cause great damage, that they be held accountable." Incredible comments and a forceful stand, a real stand from President-elect Biden. Let's actually roll the tape and listen to what President-elect Biden had to say. Let's watch.
I think it's critically important that there be a real serious focus on holding those folks who engage in sedition and threaten people's lives, deface public property, cause great damage, that they be held accountable. And I think that's a view that is held by the vast majority of Democrats and Republicans in the Congress.
And here's reporting on your screen from Geoff Bennett, who's an NBC News White House correspondent. Geoff writes, President-elect Biden said he's spoken with members, presumably Republicans as well as Democrats, about a way to bifurcate Trump's impeachment. What that would mean is that would not delay his agenda. The bottom line is that would mean they can do two things at one time. So the Senate would spend half day dealing with the impeachment and a half day dealing with confirmations and stimulus relief, and says he's waiting for more information. So this would be a way for the Senate to do two things at one time by splitting it into 2 half days. Here's another tweet on your screen. Geoff Bennett also reported that Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, well, he's the outgoing Senate Majority Leader because in a few days it'll be Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. So the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has not spoken to Trump since the 15th of December, the day McConnell congratulated Biden for winning the election and acknowledging him as a president-elect. And McConnell expects never to speak with Donald Trump again. And I know, folks, that this has been a very stressful day. There's been talk of the president potentially signing the Insurrection Act. I've been seeing some messages popping up in different forums saying that the president might have signed the Insurrection Act. We know that not to be true, and there were some reports that Donald Trump is resigning. Well, first of all, I don't think that's very likely. But second of all, it seems like a disgruntled State Department employee made a change to the State Department website to make it seem like Donald Trump was resigning. That would be the best thing for the country. And if you saw my video yesterday, I highlighted a quote from Congressman Adam Kinzinger, a Republican from the state of Illinois, who said that the best thing for the country would be if Donald Trump resigned. But I don't see that as being very likely, because Donald Trump is not likely to resign. Now let's shift gears towards some other news that's been emerging. You'll see this tweet on your screen from me, hoping that this week is going to be really uneventful. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that it's going to be a tough week, because reports have been emerging from the FBI. Here's a tweet on your screen from Joseph Zeballos-Roeg, who's the economics reporter for the Business Insider, and he reported, and you'll see this on your screen, he reported that Chuck Schumer was asked about whether the Trump impeachment could indeed distract from Biden's early agenda, and this is what Schumer said, and I quote, this is a quote from Chuck Schumer. So Chuck Schumer said, "We're going to have to do several things at once, but we've got to move the agenda as well. Yes, we've got to do both." The Republican leader Kevin McCarthy released a statement saying that there were 4 options right now for Republican lawmakers. This was retweeted by John Bresnahan with Punchbowl News, and you'll see the 4 options that Republicans are considering right now. Number 1, a resolution of censure under the rules of the House. Keep in mind that this is kind of like a slap on the wrist. This does not prevent Donald Trump from running for re-election. The second option is a bipartisan commission to investigate the circumstances surrounding what happened last week. Reforming the Electoral Count Act of 1887. That's an interesting one. I wonder why, because the Electoral Count Act basically says that the vice president just has to count the votes. I did do a video talking about the Electoral Count Act. I don't think the Democrats are going to go for that one. And legislation to promote voter confidence in future federal elections. So pretty interesting comments from the House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, who's a Republican from New York. Here's a tweet on your screen which actually reveals that the Democratic Congresswoman Bonnie Watson Coleman said that she has tested positive for the pandemic. Remember, she's 75 years old. She's a cancer survivor. Now she's tested positive because she was sheltered in place in a secure location where other lawmakers were not wearing masks. Here's a tweet on your screen from Seth Abramson, New York Times bestselling author, who says that the FBI is warning that armed insurrectionist protests are planned across the country in the coming days. You'll see this article on your screen from Politico, and this article basically says that the FBI is warning for armed protests could take place in all 50 state capitals and in Washington in the days leading up to President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration. In other news, the Wall Street Journal has reported that the New York State Bar Association said it has opened an investigation into whether it should eject Rudy Giuliani from the organization. Now, this is not the same as being disbarred. It's not the same. You know, you become a lawyer, you have your license, you become a part of an association. So this is the association potentially talking about removing him from the association, but it is not the same as disbarment. You'll see this article on your screen from the Wall Street Journal that says New York State Bar Association weighs stripping Giuliani of membership. Now here's a tweet on your screen from Jake Sherman over at Punchbowl News, and Jake Sherman says that the House Minority Leader sent out a letter to the House Republicans saying he's against impeachment, but he is floating censure and a committee to study the elections and what happened last week. There's no mention of the president. Let's show you this letter on your screen right now, and you can see the entire letter on your screen right now, and you can read that letter for yourself. I'll provide you with a link to all of our resources in the description section below, so you can check it out for yourself. So it's essentially a 2-page letter. On your screen, you see page 2, where he says that we need to do something, but there have been calls for Kevin McCarthy to resign. So those are the key events, everybody. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. You'll get a link to all of our resources in the description section below. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. We live in very, very unusual times. My goal is to try and help you make sense of this unbelievable world that we live in. Here's a little bit more information about me. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. Now, I encourage you to follow me on Twitter because you'll learn instantly in real time what I'm reading, what I'm thinking, because I'm on Twitter quite a lot. So definitely follow me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is ignition_time. That's ignition_time. This channel, the Ignition Time channel, as well as my Twitter handle, I discuss matters that are important to the country, matters that are important to the economy, and matters that are important to your money. This is an incredible, incredible climate that we live in, and I want to help you make sense of this unbelievable world around us. Now, remember, we release videos on a daily basis, so make sure you subscribe to our channel, make sure you enable notifications, and make sure you please give me a like, because that tells the YouTube algorithm that you found this content helpful. Now, keep in mind that YouTube does not always send out notifications on time when I release new videos. That's just the way the algorithm works. So all you need to do is simply bookmark youtube.com/ignition time. That's youtube.com/ignition time. And then you'll be able to visit the homepage of our channel and watch our videos at any point in time that you want. You can also follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is also ignition_time. That's ignition_time. You'll get exclusive news and alerts on Instagram. Remember, follow us on Twitter because you'll get real-time alerts on Twitter. Our Twitter community is growing very rapidly. In fact, I've been receiving notifications on my phone as I've been recording this that our Twitter followers are growing, and more of our fellow citizens are following me on Twitter. So definitely follow me on Twitter. Once again, the Twitter handle is ignition_time. One of the things I'm especially proud about is our community, not just here on YouTube, but also on Twitter. Please comment below, engage with our community, engage in a healthy, a respectful, a bipartisan debate, because there's one thing we need as a country right now. It's a healthy, respectful debate. More understanding, more respectful engagements, as opposed to just arguing all the time and being at odds with one another. So I encourage you to comment below. Just comment below and let us know what you think of the content in this video and your thoughts on matters that are relevant to the country, relevant to the economy, and relevant to your money. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. As always, you'll get a link in the description section below. In many cases, multiple links in the description section below, so you can learn more about our news sources and you can dig deeper into those news sources on your own if you choose to. Finally, please share this video with 2 friends or family members. That's all I ask. Please share the video with 2 friends or family members so that we can grow our community. Again, please click like, please subscribe, please enable notifications. I would really, really appreciate that. I know that this kind of information, I know that the intense environment we live in is not a laughing matter, it's not a dancing matter, but I want to try and give you the news and give you the truth wherever it might lead us. That is my goal with the Ignition Time community. In the end, when all of this craziness is behind us, like I've said before, I want it to be raining money. I want there to be lots and lots of money, whether it's through stimulus, whether it's through a job, whether it's through a side gig, whether it's through your own business. I want it to be raining money. I want us to be happy. I want us to be smiling. I want us to be smiling. I want us to be in a party mode. I want there to be confetti everywhere. I want us to get this craziness, this unbelievable madness behind us, and one day we will, because I believe we'll end up stronger from this crisis. And one day, when all this craziness is behind us, we'll be dancing. And I'll be breakdancing because I have pretty bad breakdancing skills. And here's the rope. It was pretty hard to pull that imaginary rope. So that's it, everybody. I hope we get through this together. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for putting up with my skills. Here's one more. Watch this. That was me pulling the imaginary rope towards the camera. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Once again, please click like, please subscribe, please enable notifications. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Thank you. Bye.